Squad with me, the Broken Bottle Boy, aka Mick Wright, here on Twitch. Have I left yesterday's paper up in the newspaper box? Why, yes, I have. It's a reliable thing that I and is that the sound of the person in the room shaking towels or sheets or something in the background? Yes, it is. If you're confused. Welcome anyway to the show. That is from yesterday as well. Let me go to the correct folder. This is a brilliant start to an incredibly professional show. Now the person in the room is passing by with a basket on her head. Fantastic. Right. Here is today's paper. It's Ambience, says Jordan DH. That's right. Hey, Dan Jones, 3142. Hope you enjoyed today's cursed background as Michael Gove, Andrew Neil, and Rupert Murdoch remake Only Fools and Horses. Hello to you in the business factory, SK the Crusader, and hello from here, which is sort of technically, I guess, the words factory. Hey, Slankamaya, how are you doing? Hello, the Neon Lady. This is good. This is an excellent initial turnout from some of the best people on the internet. Yes, Dan, it's upsetting as ever. That's what I'm going for. Right, and talking about upsetting as ever, we're going to start with The Sun today. Front page of The Sun. Sad stones miss Charlie's funeral. Turns out that they're stuck in America, so are unable to attend. There is The Sun finally gets round to covering the brawl between, or the attempted brawl between Machine Gun Kelly and Conor McGregor, which would have ended in Machine Gun Kelly's face being ripped clean off the bone. Apparently, McGregor had wanted a picture with Machine Gun Kelly. Why, though? And had been refused. And the main story on the front page of The Sun, winter COVID offensive. All 12 to 15-year-olds to be offered a vaccine, all over 50s to have Pfizer booster by Christmas. Or, as The Sun insists on writing it, Xmas. This always reminds me of D-Generation X from the Attitude Era of the WWF/WWE. That story written by the most cucked man in Britain, Mr. Harry Cole. So there you go. Jordan DH, I hope the pink pesto makes its way into your backgrounds at some point. Yeah, he has previously, so I expect he will again. So I'm definitely getting evicted in 2 months, so I'm feeling fine. Oh, God, that sucks. Studying Fangirl being evicted on the 30th. God, I'm so sorry. Jordan DH reminds me of the rapper Exhibit. Yeah, or the late highly problematic DMX. Anyway, let's move into the inner pages of The Sun. On page 2, double tax whammy. Councils want you to fund NI rise for their contractors too. And on page 3, Ree's Big Mac and thighs. Yes, Rihanna wore some thigh-high boots, so Big Mac and thighs is, and a Mac is what we get for that. Big Mac and thighs, honestly, stop it. And also on that story, a story about a rescue dog that loves the Coronation Street theme, or hates it, not sure, and howls along to the theme tune. The rescue dog is called Betty, and she's a Collie Pomeranian cross. She's from Romania. And she really likes Coronation Street, apparently. Lynn, her owner, an amateur jazz singer, said she starts howling whenever the theme tune comes on, which is a regular sound in my house. What's amazing is she seems to be in tune and changes her how to follow the melody. Expect they ripped that one off Twitter. On pages 4 and 5, winter COVID offensive to avoid another lock. Vac to school as the headline. Rows, jabs for teens get go-ahead. Kids can overrule parents on consent. Once again, we've got people here writing who either are ignorant of or pretend to be ignorant of the whole concept of Gillett competency. I mean, it's Harry Cole, so who's to say? Sometimes he's technically ignorant and sometimes he's just thick. So, you know, who knows? If you're wondering what the other sound is, it is the artillery bombardment of person in the room typing. She is a very committed typer. On page 7, the start of a 3-page bizarre VMA special. Of course, the big picture on that is of Megan Fox in her see-through dress. This is one of the minor but ridiculous stories in The Sun today. Call Taylor to tinker with spy's trousers. And I've got a picture of Daniel Craig. He's walking along, so he's bent his leg, so the leg of his trouser has risen up slightly, which has given them a chance to write a story about his suit doesn't fit. A tailor on someone who's worked as a tailor on Twitter tells me that that's how the fit of that suit should be anyway, and you know, the sun is stupid. Slingermeyer, pandemic is not a war yet exactly. Madonna wore a very tight outfit at the VMAs. And don't worry, Sarah Vine's got something for you in the Daily Mail, which has turned that very disturbing. On page 11, Prince fights sex claim. Once again, a minimising choice of words from The Sun. On a story with the headline, Andrew's hotshot lawyer at 11th hour. And also, talking about sex claims on the opposite page, oh, it's Ronaldo going out for an Italian meal with his family as the let's make everyone forget about the claims against Ronaldo effort continues. Oh God, yeah. Oh, God. Jordan DH, jabs for teens. Oh God, I completely misheard. I've been giving people wearing denim LSD. I thought it was tabs for jeans. On page 30. More on the Rolling Stones with the none more tabloid strapline. Sad band miss ceremony. Stones hit by COVID rules on Watt's funeral. On page 15, Emma Raducanu has been on some TV in New York and looking at the sites. So we get the headline, New York, New York. Clemmy Moody, also talking about Emma Raducanu, says, ditch the politics and leave point scoring to Emma. She does this by writing about politics and Emma Raducanu, but just suggesting that anyone left-wing saying anything about it is politicising it, while anyone right-wing is, you know, it's just fair comment. On pages 18 and 19, for some reason, Rod McPhee is writing about, I think it's a new documentary coming out. Yes, Fever Pitch, the rise of the Premier League. They're talking about that and about how the Bend It Like Beckham kick made David Beckham an icon. Well, no, he very carefully, in concert with Victoria Beckham, helped make himself an icon by picking very good endorsements and doing big photo shoots and all the kind of stuff. It wasn't just the kick that did it. Ridiculous. Right, oh, it's one of our favourites, a misreported tribunal decision. On page 21 of The Sun today, the headline, Office Tribunal Ruling, calling women love is an insult. So the first half of this piece is about how calling women love, hun, chick, babes, bubs, hun, sweetie are demeaning and infantilizing ways of referring to women, but that it's okay to call a men lad or mate because that's deemed nicknames, right? Okay, whatever, ridiculous, right? Thing for The Sun to write about. But you get to the end of this piece, they leave it to the last two paragraphs, and it turns out that this guy who ran a funeral home and was sacked said to an employee, wanted her to tell him about her vital statistics and called her Rachy Boobies, and other staff claimed he vetted job applications on whether they were hot or fit, which is sexual harassment and discrimination in the workplace. It's not about whether he called anyone love, although that is unacceptable in a workplace setting. It's actually because he was engaged in systematic sexual harassment and discrimination. But of course you don't get that in the headline, and a lot of people won't read till the end of the piece. So once again, it's about work tribunals and someone getting the compo easily. Ridiculous. Hartley denied the allegations, but was fired last year. The panel found the firm in Blackpool had failed to follow proper process and ruled that he had been unfairly dismissed. But it said it was right to fire him and refuse compensation. It also threw out his sex discrimination claim. See, but do we get that complexity? No, that complexity gets shoved at the bottom of the piece in order to twist what happened. Maisie Williams wore a really striking look to a fashion event in New York, and Simon Boyle in the TV pages is very misogynistic about her. On page 25, a very fat cat, a large cat, Porky Puss Keith is so fat his owner has put child locks on cupboards to stop him stealing food. Justice for Keith, poor Keith. And also managing to bring their weird attitudes about food and weight into the paper via a cat. On page 27, a woman who had 3 babies in 10 months. Classic tabloid story there. Very odd othering and classist. On pages 28 and 29, our investigation shows tougher measures needed to stop crossings. More anti-refugee stuff. This German dinghy overloaded with migrants shows French boat ban is a load of hot air. Oh, Jesus. Slinkermeyer stands the chonky cat. Yep. In TV biz, Maya Jama is going to be working with Simon Cowell, apparently. Unfortunate for her. Tonight's TV, the TV review, Stephen on ITV, which is about the Stephen Lawrence case. It's a well-made drama, deserves a sequel, they say. In the picks tonight, Spice Girls, How Girl Power Changed Britain, Channel 4, 9 p.m. Right. House Through Time, BBC 2, 9 p.m. People say that is very good. It's a David Olusoga documentary where he traces the lives of people who lived in a particular house. And A Long Lost Family, Born Without Trace, What Happened Next, ITV, 9 p.m. Always a tearjerker, not sure I want that. Right, so for the third time in about 6 weeks, the Sun has run another piece on tradwives. Today's tradwife piece, My Secret to a Happy Marriage, a Stay-at-Home Wife. And this is Bronte Rawlingson, who they make a big deal of saying went to a fee-paying school, but decided to get pregnant at 19. That's their framing, and now has 3 children, and says she claims that working women are making a mistake, and she is a trad wife. She met her husband on the beach when she was 16 and he was 22. No further comments from me, Your Honour. And the headline on the next page when they continue this feature is, I choose to clean all day. Right. In the letters today, by the way, absolutely nothing wrong with someone choosing to stay at home to be with their kids. It's just this framing of other women making a mistake and all this kind of weird tradwife shit. The tradwives, tradwife ideology is inextricably linked to far right ideologies. So there you go. Right, today's £50 letter comes from Luke Russell, who says, let's hope that Boris Johnson's plans to keep the worst impact of COVID-19 at bay this winter are a success. The last thing any of us want is a return to lockdowns, especially as we look forward to Christmas. Giving booster vaccines to all over 50s is the right call. This is definitely written by someone in the office. I know many people say we shouldn't vaccinate we should vaccinate the rest of the world first, many of whom have not yet had any jab yet. But I disagree. The duty of any government is to look after its own people as a priority. You're a fucking idiot then, aren't you? Because if you don't vaccinate the rest of the world, vaccination here will end up being pretty much fucking pointless. In their, quick letters today, Baz, literally Baz, writes, the phrase, never trust what a politician says, has never been more apt. Yet it's us mugs who voted in this government. Yeah, pretty much there, Baz. And Ads writes, there's talk of 42 new so-called bosses to be employed by the NHS on £270,000 a year. But what will they be doing? I don't know, read the job descriptions, Ads. That's what I'd do. Oh no, that was Malk, sorry. And finally, Ads says, Prince Harry has turned his back on England for a Hollywood lifestyle. Yet wants his daughter baptised at Windsor. If ordinary folk want their children baptised, they have to join the local parish. Well, here's the thing, Ads, right? I sort of agree with you in a sense that there should be no royalty. Is that what you're saying? I do hope so. Studying Fango, look forward to Christmas. It's September. Yeah, I know. Slinkermeyer's right, it's the UK. Christmas stuff arrives in about July. Easter's done. Time for Christmas. Right, moving on. Coins. There's some bad coin news, by the way. The coin that I got as a joke, right? They've started trying to send me more coins and now sent me an invoice for a coin that I didn't want. And if you ring the number for it, it ends up being the Domino's employee share scheme number. So it's going to turn into an interesting article here. Now, of course, person in the room did say to me, no coins. No coins? No coins. And she was right. As ever, she has been proved right. Anyway, today in coins news, a magnificent new 24-carat gold coin featuring a gothic portrait of Queen Elizabeth. It doesn't look that gothic. She's not wearing any eyeliner. are just available to you for just £39. Coins, coins, coins. I mean, I get this one. There's no way it could be another scam. No, I absolutely would not get this one. Anyway, and then in the sport, Winston Churchill. Cristiano Ronaldo is demanding his teammates sacrifice everything to bring back the good times to Manchester United. I wonder if he waited for them to consent to that. Anyway, give me your scores for the Sun. To me, it's, shaming a cat, excusing Ronaldo, other weird stuff. Fuck them all. Quadruple negative, nice. Studying Fangirl says, so glad we have the autumn holidays to hold the line on the Hanukkah merch. Hanukkah merch. Coins, 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 scammy coins, grift coins, and coins. And Studying Fangirl says, fucking bastards. Correct. Right, I'm gonna do a speed run through The Guardian today. Let's see if no S&M gear not got. By the way, C122H122, you're gonna love Sarah Vine's article in today's Daily Mail. It's very unhinged, and the S&M thing is a bit of a clue about what it's going to be about. Right, so I'm going to do a speed run through the Guardian. I think I'm going to try and do the Guardian in 1 minute 30, which would be a brand new record. It's also, frankly, an insane effort, but let's see if I can do this. Right, this would be a new PB. Slinkermeyer in with the quadruple negative, nice for the Sun. A sensible score for a horrendous paper. Right, timer. 1 minute 30 seconds for the Guardian. Studying Fangirl. It's not gothic unless you're carrying around your husband's calcified heart. Neon Lady, boo to the trad wives. C122, all bastards at the Sun. Right, here we go. And go. Front cover of The Guardian. We see a lot of regrets of vaccine-hesitant victims of COVID. I don't think they should call them vaccine-hesitant. There's a thing about the Bob Marley musical. The main story is booster jabs for over 50s as number 10 accelerates vaccine program. Same thing we're seeing elsewhere. Andrew Neil has quit GB News. See today's newsletter for that. Taliban assure UN over safety of aid staff. Inside the plan to bring back the mammoth. It's ridiculous. Evacuated Afghan families feel stuck in UK hotels. Say they feel like prisoners. I'm not surprised. Climate activists block M25 to demand better insulation of homes. They're definitely an op. On a roll, scientists reveal the secrets behind the hot streaks in an artist's career. It's hilarious curiosity. Parents' views on whether children should be jabbed. They should be. Come on. COVID-19 deaths among the fully vaccinated represent 1.2% of just 1.2% of the total in England. There's a review of the Back to the Future musical. It gets 3 stars. 6 young trailblazers forging ahead up in Time magazine. Theatre review, East is East gets a review. Len McCluskey is in the comment section. Corbyn suspension eroded my trust in Starmer. Polly Toynbee says Johnson needs to look at how Labour was able to level up. In the long read, when Wall Street came to coal country, in the... God, 20 seconds left. So hard to move these pages. In the obituaries, Maria Mendiola, one half of Baccarat. In the world news, UN gets Taliban assurances on humanitarian workers. Arson blamed as Andalusia for wildfire burns for 6th day. And in the sport, Breaking Point stars issue plea to co over catastrophic UK athletics. There you go. Just about managed that. Did skip a few pages, if I'm honest. Thank you, C122, H122. Mustard. Okay, now, time for a roll call, then we will crash inexorably into the Times. If you haven't read today's newsletter, please do. And if you haven't, even if you don't want to read it, share it on Twitter, because I need to get more people subscribing. It's a good number now, but I could get it to go higher. And also, if you like this stream, and I really appreciate you tuning in, do consider chucking some coins into the newspaper fund. It just helps keep the show going, and it's a way of helping where you don't have to subscribe. But do subscribe if you want to, particularly if you have Prime and can basically do it for no extra cost. Thank you very much. Right, let me update the picture in the newspaper box, and I will do the roll call. Hey, Red Tixie, how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Always good to see you. How is your day? Right. Here we go, time for the roll call. In the mod squad, calling in from the work factory, it is SK the Crusader. Also in the chat, another TT viewer, Ash Flaps, McNulty, C122, H122, Dan Jones, 3142, always disturbed by the backgrounds. Dan LaRosa is here, hey. Dr. Fayad is here. Arabs is here. Gethin Wyn Jones, Industrial Pet, Jade Farah, Jade Pickering, hey, Joan Pickering, giver of the iconic 0 scores. Jordan DH is here, hey Jordan. Kin92, always good. Chronotherm, Lucy Lee, 1719, Morin Skell, Monkey Shaver, Pac-Man Scratch Card, Rimastino, Ronnie Rosenthal, Slinker Meyer, Spike Trap Claire, Studying Fangirl, Super Mickey Chow, The Neon Lady, and V and K. Especially want to say for Slinker Meyer and Studying Fangirl, who are having a rough time of it at the moment, do follow Studying Fangirl here on Twitch, and do check out Slinker Meyer's work on Instagram. And if there's anything else we could do to help them, I will happily do that. Red 60s, have to reschedule my jab because I need to do a lateral flow test. Oh, sucks. Woo, new PB. Yeah, thank you, Sligmeyer. Coins, says Ken92. C122, H122. Wish I had coins. You don't. Not from the Bradford Exchange, I'll tell you that. Right, now, on to the times. How to help stress children. Tanya Byron's expert advice. Robert Crampton, I could never be a tennis dad. Well, don't be then. Johnson and May face awkward dinner at Checkers reunion. It's not just going to be them there. Yes, hello from the business factory. Got a meeting at 2. Well, we should be, hopefully we'll be done by 2. Over 50s to receive booster jab for winter. Children age 12 to 15 will off first dose. Same briefing as all the others have got. And Radicanu joins Jet Set Party Crowd. This is the start of them building the case to criticise her soon enough. You wait and see. Right, inside the paper. YouTube now serves up best cooks, insists Jamie Oliver. Right, he says he no longer watches TV food shows. Good. Why do you keep making them then? China spying on lectures run by British universities is the story. I mean, we've known this for a long time. Celebrity lawyer enters at 11th hour for Andrew. What a surprise. On pages 6 and 7, Whitty asks parents to send children over 12 for vaccine. Why it's still too soon to rule out a lockdown. Sweet Caroline sing-song and sushi for Radicano's teetotal celebration. Again, build her up to knock her down. Latin America loses faith in Chinese jabs. Chinese claim tennis golden girl as their own. The Chinese, well, her grandmother is Chinese, so yeah, why not? Boris Johnson's mother has died at age 79. She had Parkinson's. The Prime Minister backs Patel amid new claims she broke ministerial code. It's because she knows where all the bodies are. Hey, Mr. Inside Man, thank you for being here. Nice to be back in this live. See, you did a column on GB News today titled GB Loses. Other decent headlines would have been GB Snooze or GB Lose. Yes, true. All solid puns. Dan Jones, 3142. Which League 2 club has the worst online ticketing system? Colchester United or Colchester United? I'm going to go with Colchester United. Yes. Jamie Oliver now watching Googa, exclusively watching Googa, having been inspired by your YouTube zone. GB News in turmoil as Neil and producers quit. Its number of monthly viewers has been declining month on month. It was 11 million in June, 12 million in July, 9 million in August, and still going down. May it burn. Quentin Letts is a piece of shit, and he says optimism bias is goading the glums of Whitehall. The Home Office, the Border Force has been out practicing on jet skis to turn boats back in the channel. Many people have said this is extremely dangerous and people will die from it, and they will, and it's disgusting, and Priti Patel is a disgusting human. On page 15, police officer used spy cameras to film models on bogus shoots. A senior officer in Scotland Yard's policing improvement team used hidden cameras to spy on dozens of women during bogus photo shoots. Detective Inspector Neil Corbell, 40, set up cameras in phone chargers, an alarm clock, a laptop, tissue books, spectacles and an air freshener in hotel rooms and Airbnb properties. He was caught after one of his victims grew suspicious of an alarm clock and discovered that it was a brand of spy technology. Videos of 50 women were found on his computer at his home. But remember, it's just a few bad apples and not an entirely rotten orchard. There's the claim that driverless delivery pods will be on the roads within 2 years. Wilco, the hardware chain, will announce a £3 million investment today in battery-powered autonomous vehicles that will deliver directly to customers within a 6-mile radius. Yeah, I'll believe it while I see it. Jordan DH, more like GB Poos. Got him. Yeah. The death last week of Anthony Ackland, former head of the diplomatic service, reminded one of his colleagues of when they discovered how Jim Hacker was bringing peace to the Middle East. Sir Sherrod Karpel recalled a trip from Ackland to Israel in the 1980s when they had lunch with Abba Iban, a politician whose nephew, Jonathan Lynn, was the co-creator of Yes Minister. Iban said that the series was such a hit in both Israel and Jordan, despite the countries being at war, their state broadcasters had a rare agreement to coordinate when they showed episodes so that the viewers in Israel who missed one could pick it up on Jordanian TV and vice versa. Such were the practicalities of war and peace, Karpel reflected. I wonder, though, how Jordan regarded the episode where Hacker, below, gets sloshed on a visit to an Arab country where he is frequently summoned away to take urgent calls from the likes of Johnny Walker in the Scotch office. It's a good episode, that. A new history of Private Eye brought out for the magazine's 60th anniversary had an entire page blacked out by lawyers because it relates to a scoop from 1985 is now under criminal investigation. That's 36 years it's taken for the police to catch up, Ian Hislop says. That's okay, Mr. Inside Man. My name is Mick, but you can call me what you like. Thank you for watching. C122, H122. I don't know who GB News was for. Most people I know don't watch 24-hour news. Yeah, it's not, but, you know. Driver triumphs in 5-year battle over parking ticket. We covered that yesterday. How great artists and minds hit hot streak. Again, that's covered by most places. Would-be spies are being offered summer internships at MI5 and MI6. The intelligence services are offering £5,242 for 11 weeks worth 11 weeks work experience to students from an ethnic minority and disadvantaged background. This is how they're gathering their moles now. The Back to the Future the musical gets only 2 stars from the Times. Teenager had been arrested on the for the murder on suspicion of the murder of after the death of an 86-year-old army veteran who was attacked outside his home. Pretty grim, isn't it? In the comments section, William Hague says, there's a volunteer army waiting its orders. Parties should tap the latent desire to help others. We've seen it in the pandemic to warn off looming crisis of loneliness. No, go fuck yourself. King U92, more like GB no views. Yeah. Melanie Phillips says, the Queen deserves better from her family. No, she doesn't. The Queen, this idea that the royal family was once, you know, they were once very respectable. They hid disabled members of their families and buried them in unmarked graves. They, the Duke of Windsor was a Nazi apologist. Like, the Queen, Prince Andrew's still her favourite son. So fuck this off. Giles Corran's back in the paper, writing a load of old bullshit. Still hasn't apologised for laughing at the death of our friend Dawn Foster. So fuck him, and I hope his cars continue to be stolen forever. Hugo Rifkin writes a not that unreasonable column, I have to say. Young won't play generation game forever, basically saying politicians have got to stop ignoring the young. But then again, this is in a paper that constantly denigrates people who voted for Labour who, you know, are under 40. Birthdays today. Kevin O'Hare, 56, is a royal director of the Royal Ballet, former Royal Ballet dancer. Paul Allott, the cricketer for England till 1985, is 65. Dennis Baptiste, the jazz musician, is 52. Amanda Barry, the actress in Carry On Cleo, and then Coronation Street, is 86. Sir Tim Besley, the Economist School Professor of School Professor of Economics and Political Science, London School of Economics, is 61. Jessica Brown Finlay, the actress, is 32. Louise de Mambro, the barrister, Registrar of the Supreme Court of the United Kingdom and of the Privy Council, is 68. Bob Dudley, the chairman of the Oil and Gas Climate Initiative, chief executive of BP until 2020, is 66. Steve Foots, the chief executive of Croda, don't know what that is 53, pardon me. Prof. Paul Hardacre, Chief Executive of the Institute of Physics, Royal Meteorological Society until 2012, is 55. Martin Hill, the tenor, is 77. Professor Sir Ian Kennedy, Emeritus Professor of Health, Law, Ethics and Policy at the University College London, is Chairman of the Independent Parliamentary Standards Authority till 2016, is 80. Walter Koenig, the actor who played Chekhov in Star Trek until 1979 and in the films, is 85. Happy birthday to him. Melissa Leo, the actress, is 61. Andrew Lincoln, the actor, is 48. Dmitry Medvedev, the Prime Minister of Russia until 2020, now Deputy Chairman of the Security Council of Russia, is 56. Sam Neill, the actor, is 74. Renzo Piano, the architect, famous for the Centre Pompidou in Paris, along with Richard Rogers, and the Shard is 84. Ashley Roberts, the singer in the Pussycat Dolls, is 40. Grant Shapps, Conservative MP for Welwyn Hatfield, Transport Secretary, Conservative Party co-chairman until 2015, is 53. Tinchy Strider is 35. Mark Tyler, football commentator, is 76. Catherine West, Labour MP for Hornsey and Wood Green, Shadow Foreign and Commonwealth Affairs Minister, is 55. And David Verney, Lord Willoughby de Broke, Chairman of the St Martin's Theatre Company, is 83. On this day in 1741, Handel finished his oratorio Messiah after 24 days of concentrated work. It had its premiere in Dublin on April 3rd, 1742. The last word today goes to Arthur Ashe, the tennis player, from his memoir, Days of Grace. I see nothing inconsistent in being proud of oneself and one's ancestors, and at the same time seeing oneself first and foremost as a member of a commonwealth of all races and creeds. Right. Okay. Sligmire went to uni with Jessica Brown Finley. She's lovely. Well, that is good to know. Happy birthday to Jordan DH, 32. The Neon Lady. I wish bad things on Giles Curran, to be honest. Sorry, wish bad things on Giles Curran's car, and Kin92 wishes bad things on Giles Curran. Do it both. Jordan DH, are we talking about the Royals or the Kennedys? Both. Super Mickey Chow. The Royals are scum, plain and simple. Red Tick Seed, GB News is setting up an OnlyFans. GB Nudes. Chekhov birthday twin. Oh, yes. Oh, Industrial Pet, is it your birthday? Happy birthday, Industrial Pet. Very, very good to hear. I'm sorry that you're spending your birthday watching this show. Thought his name was Michael Green. Yeah, it's a dual birthday. Russian mercenaries poised to fill Mali power vacuum led by France. Apparently a puma in Patagonia's Los Glaciers National Park took a rest after a long swim across Argentino Lake. 180-pound animal curled up in a cove and stretched out and prowled across the top of a rapidly melting iceberg. Pumas depend on water from the glaciers and icebergs to survive. Excellent puma. In the Times too, someone else says they've been silenced, but in this case they were silenced. It's Harvey Weinstein's former PA on why she wants the law banning NDAs put in place. Not doing the rest of the Times too, to be honest. Just can't. In the business news, Brewdog is looking to float soon. They can go fuck themselves. Patrick Hoskin in the business column says travel rules and restrictions will determine the fate of W.H. Smith. Shining Light and Shine, the fastest riser in online fashion, extremely dodgy company. Sorrel sells S4's growth story with Google and Facebook comparison, ridiculous. Insiders predict a sell-off by Christmas at Deutsche Bank. And in the Jordan DH has a birthday with Dawn Foster, which I will carry with me moving forward. Yeah, Dawn is very much missed. I do think of her most days, as I do my other friend who was taken far too early, Lyra McKee. So and in fact, the last time I saw Dawn was at Lyra's funeral. So yes. In the Register today, Grange Calvary, creator of Rhubarb and Custard, the wobbly 70s children's cartoon series with a mad dog, a devious cat, and a zany theme tune. I can't do it, but anyway, it's a good theme tune. Margaret Purvis, GC, schoolgirl who was on an illicit visit to beach when she spotted a group of scouts in difficulty and swam to their rescue. So she received the George Cross for that. Keith Howard, publisher, philanthropist, and devotee of all things Yorkshire, who claimed to have been bowled out 7 South African Test players, has died. He was 89. In the sport, Hamilton said he's proud of the F1 stewards. Tuchel says not fair to claim trophy is only half his. That's the Champions League trophy. Solskjaer says it's time to win trophies, no more excuses. And on the back page, the normal back page, as opposed to an Emma Raducanu, just do it Nike advert. Hamilton and rival ordered to calm down. F1 chief warns cockerels to end clashes on the track. How Emma stays one step ahead. Stars beg code to solve athletics crisis. And Harvey Elliott has absolved Pascal Skrujic of any blame for the tackle that left him with dislocated ankle, describing it as a freak accident that did not warrant a red card. Right, that's the times. Give me your scores for that. I'd say what? Let's say minus 69, just a classic. Minus 69, the normal negative nice. Yes. Okay, let's move on to the Daily Mail. Don't forget that you can spend your Herzogs that you earn by watching the show by just pressing a little button of him at the bottom of the thing, and you can, get me to do things or highlight your comments or ask me questions or all that kind of business. Right, on to the Daily Mail, front page of the Daily Mail. Well, of course, it's Emma Raducanu again. Emma bewitches America in jeans and a cardi. At the top of the page, here we go. It's the promotion for Sarah Vine's truly deranged double page spread today. Why I'm appalled that bondage is the new black. Main story sounds like a DC comic, but is in fact the Daily Mail getting upset about Boris Johnson's so-called winter plan. Return of the Doom Squad. Return of the Doom Squad. Shame that Man U pay a rapist, yeah. On pages 2 and 3, after the weekend of a lifetime, Britain's teen sensation goes from tennis court to TV circus and takes America by storm. Welcome to the Emmys. Jesus Christ. It's said that Anna Wintour invited her personally to the Met Gala. On page 5, Duke's new lawyer hits out at sex claims in US court. Sex claims. Thank you for the posture checks and thank you for the hydration. Mustard. There's a warning there might be a toy shortage for Christmas. Wonder why that is. On pages 6 and 7, kids will get jab, but just one. No, they might get a second. It's just they're going to try it with one to start with. On pages 10 and 11, they cover XR. XR's an op, isn't it? Hypocrisy of the M25 eco-zealots. And they, of course, name and bully specific people. The organic farmer, the puppeteer, the electrician, the business coach, and the IT expert. Daily Mail loves to dox people. Michael Gove's, the revelation that Michael Gove was caught on tape being sexist, racist, homophobic, and a sexual harasser. Huge surprise there. Gove's race, sexist, and gay jibes as a student. Not covered in the Times today, but you can expect it to be covered in a tiny way because I suspect that Gove will return to the Times once he leaves politics. On page 13, with inspiration ranging from Germany to Jamaica, this year it's the Great Global Bake Off. They do this every time that the Bake Off cast is not resolutely white and English. Anyway, lots of interesting people in there this time. GB News chief Neil quits after 8 weeks, 8 shows, and 11 weeks off. Yep, he did fewer shows than there were episodes of Fawlty Towers, but just as farcical. On page 15, I'm free to wed. Britney's £50,000 sparkler. A workman was killed when a hot tub that he was lowering came loose from a crane. It's horrendous. Professor Angus Dalgleish, Professor of Oncology at a London teaching hospital, says, "Cast off our shackles, Boris, and throw away the keys." Jordan DH, wow, the Daily Mail isn't usually this critical of cops. XR is totally an op. Had to explain what an op was to my parents yesterday. Daily Mail's criticism of cops recently has been around it trying to get at aggressive dick, though. The new lady, Sarah's not a fan of bondage. I can see why marrying a Tory wasn't for her. Sigma, I didn't need to hear Sarah Vine and bondage in the same sentence. Oh, just you wait. Can a line in the sand be drawn under Hollywood's desert disasters, writes Tom Leonard, saying, oh, look, the old version of June didn't go well, so will the new one. It will. Red Tixie, do you want to explain in the chat what an op is? Richard Littlejohn, 2468. Everybody insulate. Be honest, we're not talking stop the war here. At least CND had a point. Even if you blah, 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 blah. Fuck off, Richard Littlejohn. And here's the thing that shows you how Richard Littlejohn fills his column, right? So desperate to fill space, he he includes in his column today, based on the fact that the RSPCA has said that Funfair shouldn't give away goldfishes as prizes, he just transcribes a part of an episode of Minder. Moving on. Yeah, basically in op, it's like it's a setup. XR is the implication is that XR is infiltrated heavily by agents of the state, and in fact possibly even set up by more MI5 than movement at this point. Jordan DH, when I said they're critical cops, I meant XR. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I got confused there, but the Daily Mail have been more critical of the cops that wear uniforms recently as well, because of the Crest of the Dick thing. And actually they are critical of the cops in uniform in this, saying, oh, look at this, this guy tried to stop the protest and he was pulled away by cops. On page 21, Tragic Molly's dad, web firm still failing on suicide content. I mean, very irresponsible reporting by the Daily Mail, but what do you expect? On pages 22 and 23, Richard Pendlebury, reporting from Islamabad, says they were left behind when the last planes took off. Now these brave Afghans have been forced to flee to Pakistan, as Richard Pendlebury reveals in his powerful dispatch. Please help us. The Taliban are hunting those who work for the British. And a sniper who's trained by US Special Forces has apparently been shot dead as his wife and children waited nearby. Pretty grim. And on a very different form of grimness, we reach Sarah Vine's piece. From the catwalk to the high street, fetish fashion is all the rage, but in the age of rising sexual violence, what message does it send to young women? Bondage is the new black. Bondage gear was like big in the punk era. It's a bondage kind of aesthetic come back and forth into fashion all the time, and this is such a stretch. Obviously predicated around Madonna's outfit at the VMAs and Kim Kardashian wearing the Balenciaga zip-up balaclava thing, which, I mean, looks frankly ridiculous. Very bring out the gimp situation there. Sorry, I made the mic fall over. I'm sorry if the noise was very loud there. Neil Lady got in there and described what an op was well. No, I don't want to remove the newspaper box. Stop it. Stop it. I'm talking about giving medals to police dogs. Poor dogs. The night my friend punched me in the face for chasing his wife, though for the teenage Giles Brandreth, nothing was more shocking than the year his royal chum was beheaded during the school holidays. His friend was beheaded during the school holidays. Oh, Jesus. Who was beheaded? Try to find this. It says his friend was beheaded during the school holidays. Where is this? Oh, okay. His friend was Prince of Laos, so I'd remember a couple of Yul Brynner's numbers from the musical King and I fear I may have cultivated my friendship with him for the wrong reasons. I've always been a sucker for royalty. Came to my fancy dress parties in national costume, looking as you would hope a dignified young prince would look. He was quite reserved, then we got on well. And then one term, he did not come back to school. We were told there had been a coup in Laos, and along with the rest of his family, the boy had been beheaded. And then he just does that, you know. Giles Brandreth, go away. Yeah, exactly. Oh, and he talks about having a phallic swagger, which is horrendous. The Back to the Future musical gets 5 stars in the Daily Mail, so a very broad set of scores for that. There's more excerpts from the Chips Channon diaries. On September 14th, 2021, on this day in 1978, the widow, the Daily Mail wrote, the widow of Bulgarian defector Georgy Markov, who was stabbed by a poison-tipped umbrella, said yesterday, I've no doubt he was murdered. Former Deb, Miss Annabelle Markov, 36, added, there was every reason why someone would want him killed. His work was the motive. He was silenced by his hatred of tyranny. for his hatred of tyranny. September 14th, 1993. It was the most hesitant of handshakes and one of the most historic between Israeli Premier Yitzhak Rabin and the Palestinian Liberation Organization leader Yasser Arafat. With it, Israel and its sworn enemy set the course for peace in the Middle East. Right. And this was the moment no one had dared hope for, orchestrated for a worldwide TV audience by President Clinton on the South Lawn of the White House. Happy birthday, as we've already said, to Walter Koenig, he's 85, and to Melissa Leo, who is 61. Also born on this day, Nicole Williamson, born 1936, died 2011, the actor from Lanarkshire, who was described by playwright John Osborne as the greatest actor since Nicole Williamson, Marlon Brando, and by Samuel Beckett as touched by genius. Williamson, who died in obscurity and relative poverty, complained the problem with actors is they act too much and once interrupted a play to tell his co-star to put more life into it. Clayton Moore, born 1914, died 1999. The US actor King of the Cereals took the lead role in the 1949 film Ghost of Zorro and in the TV series Lone Ranger, the first Western film for TV. As a teen, he was taught swimming and athletics by Johnny Weissmuller, who went on to play Tarzan in a dozen films. On September 14th, in 1955, the first episode of the BBC children's show Crackerjack was broadcast. It ran until 1984. And in 2009, TV chef, author, and restaurateur Keith Floyd died aged 65 of a heart attack. Quote of the day comes from Porfirio Diaz, the Mexican president between 1830 and 1915. Poor Mexico, so far from God, so close to the United States. Joke of the day. What did one pickle say to the other when it fell out of the jar? Deal with it. Yes, there's a Back to the Future musical. Mixed reviews for Back to the Future. What is phallic swagger? I guess it's when you're swinging your dick around, I guess. Oh, fucking hell. In the annoying gossip column thing, which is all about posh people, ministers queue to back Carrie's chum. Doors seem to open very quickly when Boris Johnson's wife is your chum. I hear that Carrie's pal, Lorraine Platt, an animal welfare campaigner, has managed to attract not one but two cabinet ministers to her event at the Conservative Party conference next month. Well, where will this news have been come from? Well, probably Lorraine Platt. Extraordinary. Both Environment Secretary and Foreign Secretary will be there to laud Lorraine's little-known pressure group, the Conservative Animal Welfare Foundation. Carrie herself addressed a reception held by the group at the first Tory conference, by the side of Boris Johnson in 2019. The joke is not funny. Will new DNA blood test revolutionise cancer diagnosis? Maybe. Let's hope so. Loads of other stuff in good health, including reviews of fermented things, including kombucha, kefir, fermented alcohol, sauerkraut, cheese, and live yogurt. Also miso. I like all of those things. In the TV reviews, Spice Girls, How Girl Power Changed Britain, 9 PM is their TV pick today, and Roland White in the TV reviews gives Take a Hike 4 stars, and Together with Jamie Oliver 2 stars. In the cartoons today, the mouse is feeling depressed and steals Garfield's Teddy to make himself feel better. In Chloe & Co., Chloe and Amanda sat down drinking and talking about relationships. And in Fred Bassett looks over the fence to see some kids playing football and notices the cat there too, and is surprised that the cat enjoys football. There is a poem today. I like a fermented food. There is a poem today, I'm afraid. It's from R. Harrington of Chelmsford, Essex, and it is called Out of Lockdown. We're all now out of lockdown, or very nearly so. I'd like to go on holiday, but don't know where to go. There must be somewhere not too far just to say I've been, and brag about the things I've done and all the sights I've seen. I wouldn't go abroad again, that's not the thing to do. They don't speak proper English there, not such like what I do. I could just go to Brighton, walk up and down the lanes, and keep the amusements any time that it rains. Take a stroll along the pier, visit the marina. There's plenty there to eat and drink, and definitely cleaner. I won't go on a plane again with bad air circulation, terror threats and baggage checks and much more aggravation. I will enjoy my holiday relaxing by the sea. If it's good enough for George IV, it's good enough for me. I love that meme. Do you think Thatcher effectively utilised girl power by funneling money into illegal paramilitary death squads in Northern Ireland? Straight to the point letters. Janet Prince of Bournemouth. Anyone who resents funding the NHS should consider what they'd have to pay for private healthcare. Sensible. Rex Bourne says, political parties shouldn't bother with manifestos which express aspirations that are often unachievable, so are worthless. Mrs. Wendy Cook says, bored soldiers with nothing to do are turning to drugs, get them to deliver flu jabs held up by the lorry driver shortage. C. Goff says, another comedy pairing are Michael Crawford's Frank Spencer and Gavin Williamson. You can almost hear the Education Secretary saying, oh, Betty. Bob Phillips writes, and the Anton Deck Award for being Anton Deck goes to... Vicky Seymour says, can Tipping Point's Ben Shepherd desist from using the horrid Americanism snuck? R.J. Clark says, the secret to successful marriage isn't wearing makeup all the time. You can always turn the light out. Brenda Goodeye says, BBC subtitles for parliamentary votes, eyes and nose instead of eyes and nose. Eyes and nose instead of eyes and nose. And Ray Bullock, real name, says, Winston Churchill got round the ban on calling an MP a liar in the House of Commons by coining technological inexactitude. Yeah, whatever. Like, we've all got Wikipedia, mate. Recipe of the day, 10-minute couscous salad. Looks horrible. They still want you to go on cruises. They still want you to sell parts of your house. They want to sell you some ugly socks. More cruises. And in the sport, stay away. Premier League say no to fans without COVID pass. And tip-top toffees. Everton join leaders after burying Burnley 3, Everton 3, Burnley 1. And that is the Daily Mail. Give me your scores as ever. Thank you very much for joining me today. I absolutely agree. The authors of poems to the Daily Mail should be thrown in prison, and the only people that we do not save with prison abolition. Thank you. Don't you dare dream of a better future. Yeah, imagine that. Also, don't need to wear makeup to please your partner if you rip their eyes out. Yeah, well, that's an option, isn't it? Okay, just a reminder, if you're not a subscriber to the newsletter, do subscribe, and if you could share it today, I would really appreciate that. On Twitter or Facebook is always helpful. And also, if you want to chuck in for the show a few coins to help me pay for all the papers, that would be amazing. C122, H122 says, I like Rafa. Yeah, fair dues. Yeah, so thank you for joining me today. I will be back tomorrow at 1 PM for another exciting edition of this show. There will be a magazine special this week on Friday. I've promised it multiple times. I keep letting you down. I won't do it again. And if you do, yeah, if you want to chat to people from the show outside of show times, do consider joining the Discord. There's the Discord link. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like, subscribe, share, all of that stuff. I really appreciate it. And thank you as well to people who have been watching the show on Twitch VOD. I've seen the numbers and they are good numbers. Right, see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much. Retixid won't need eyes to see where we're going. Topic clash. Good. All right, I'm off to go and fight the coin wars, write some more words, and do a load of other